Hello, my name is Vladislav Shumsky, and I am pleased to be a moderator on this session. Today we're going to discuss what are Belarusian roots, what advantages do we have over others, do we have it, what challenges do we face during our day-to-day activities, and do we have a power over others? And are we powerful enough to compete with global products? And to do that, organizers invited these bright guests. Today, we are going to discuss how to compete, how to be successful, and we will have several questions among that. Okay, guys, so let's start. Let's have a first question. What good things Belarus gave us for our careers, for our businesses, and what benefits did we get?
Maybe I will start, yeah?
Super.
So definitely it goes without saying that Belarus has a great STEM tradition, and it means that we had access to great talents there. We had great access to the big heritage in the engineering, in mathematics, which right now definitely breaks through in the AI world. So this thing probably. Another thing is that, I don't know what others say, but our market is pretty small in general. I mean, Belarusian one. So being the founders and CEO, we have to have a global mindset since day one. So, and it definitely focuses on global markets. And if the market is big, the potential success has much more chances.
I will continue. So for me, like the culture from Belarus in terms of business, it's more about resilience, adaptability. And people usually started their career very early because of the technical universities and the famous IT hubs like EPAM, eTransition, etc. So everyone probably remembers that the students, they invited to start working on the first course, on the second course. And it also creates great opportunity for companies for cost efficiency without heavy relying on the VC budget. So just I think it's like 3 or 5 main points that help Belarus to become the real startup culture, and there are a lot of great companies, world known, that was born from Belarus.
Almost nothing else to say, but I would add that this tax exemption thing, the same yes. about the cost efficiency. So thanks to High Technology Park, most of the companies that were doing or now doing businesses in tech were the residents of High Technology Park, which allowed them to benefit from tax exemptions, which was amazing and really gave us all a good start. And I'm not sure that everybody here will agree, but to me, when I started my business in Belarus, my own company, like 13 years ago, I was truly inspired by the amazing community of great entrepreneurs who were really focused on changing the world, on making some significant great products that would be used by millions and millions. And being in that community also shaped the vision of the business that I want to make. And it really made an impact on me. And I'm truly thankful to Belarus for that.
Yeah, thank you. I think Belarus is a really great place to learn how to hustle, first of all. And I think this is one of the most important qualities that you need to start a business. This is number one. I should appreciate that in Belarus, relatively comparing with other markets, it's quite easily to get really good education, to be honest. Yes, in most of the cases, this is the technical education, but this is exactly what you need in the era of internet, basically. And this is how we started our business, because the first business that we started was now like in the university with my teammates in university. And this is also really great stuff. And also, I think the Belarus provides you this is very interesting combination of different factors. Obviously, access to the relatively cheap resources. There is no like local market. That's why you need to focus on the global products. But unfortunately, also, I think the ecosystem for the startup is also not really mature, and that's why you have to start like really small. You have to hustle, and this basically decreases the chance that you're gonna create something that has no potential, because you need to get like profit, you need to get traction immediately, because you don't have the investors, you don't have like sometimes capital, and it's very easy, because the worst case that you can get when you're doing the business, got the relatively good company, but with very, very low potential. And sometimes it's really, really hard to understand in the beginning. And I think this hustle culture, limited access to resources, helps you to create the businesses that are really resilient in the future. And I think this is the main advantage, I would say.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. So I would say one of word I would want to say is resilience. Really, we are from very childhood know that we can rely only on ourselves. There's almost no old money in Belarus, almost no resources. We know that we need to study really well from the very beginning, and can rely only on ourselves, really, to hard work, start our careers earlier, and STEM education for sure. So I would say that this kind of disadvantage that we have in some neighbor countries could be sometimes appears to be our advantage.
Great, thank you guys. So we discussed some rational factors. I mean, like education, low price, and some tax exemptions and so on. And my question is, what are Belarusian roots for you, like in your heart? What do you feel when you feel yourself as Belarus? Any more?
It's just foundation. We have our origin, and I think everybody should recognize their origin. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. It's like Belarusian, Ukrainian, whatever. Its foundation, it's like the qualities, and we all know who are building the business, probably personal qualities matters even more than some so-called hard skills.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
So I think like in general, Belarusians are nurturing their endurance themselves, and we have to just accept the conditions usually. It's not usually in our favor, but we learned how to act in this constraining, sometimes in the environment of constraints. So, and it definitely helped to be competitive in the global market.
Thank you. Okay, got it. Draniki and resilience. Endurance, yeah. Which is good as sex as well. So, guys, a question is, what challenges Belarusian passport bring to you?
I can start. I have like, I was thinking about that, and I got 2 points that I need to mention. First of all, I got closed my bank account in Silicon Valley Bank, but like after a couple of months, they got like almost bankruptcy, and okay, this is the karma.
So it's karma point.
Yeah, it's karma. And the second one, as I got the education degree in artificial intelligence back in the days, now when I get in the visa to United States, I had to go through very, very, how to say, deep scrutiny process to get this visa. And I think this is the 2 main disadvantages I would say right now. Otherwise, everything easy to be honest, to overcome.
I can add a few points. So what we see is that some of our clients, they do compliance now offenders, and we, for example, were checked several times for equity, who possesses the company, and check that there are no people who are still living in Belarus. So like having Belarusian passport is okay for them, but still living in Belarus now, it's after 2022, it's a problem. So it's one of the biggest. And another thing, when you talk to international investors, like I would say that before, because I moved in 2015 in Germany, like I explained that Belarus is kind of powerhouse, STEM powerhouse of ex-USSR, like a lot of cosmic sciences, mathematical grade school, and it looked really great for them as potential investment. After 2022, they like raise their eyebrows and like not really sure when they hear Belarus, it's questions arise.
Are we talking just about the recent years or in the broad meaning of what it means being a founder of...
I mean like about the reason we are here right now and what challenges do we have during the fact that we are Belarusians in the world.
Yeah, I see. Well, even like 10 years ago, we still had issues with how investors look at the business, because when telling them that you are like from Belarus, it was a lot of questions, and there was also a bunch of discussions about that. Even 10 years ago, I'm not saying about what is happening now. So this was always a challenge for us, and it ended up just bootstrapping the company, not doing like almost non-investment from the outside, which turned out very good for us at the end of the day. Now we're happy. But back then, like 10 years ago, we were struggling in all of those talks. And also the thing is that you also struggle when you want to hire some people from outside, like from the US, from European countries. When you mention Belarus, it's like the additional list of questions like who you are, what are the risks, any stability here in the business. So this was always the discussion 10 years ago, 5 years ago now. Yeah, but we're getting used to it, I think.
Yeah, I have the same story. I moved to Germany in 2017. So that's like the second relocation, and being a holder of the Belarusian passport, it's always a challenge crossing the borders and getting visa. And every talk when there are like 3 Belarusians coming together, how many pages do you have on your passport? If 0, the next question would be what would be the next passport, etc. So from the business perspective, I will continue the HR topic. Zing was founded in Belarus in August 2020. I don't know, maybe we have like a huge hope of everything, but anyway, the company was relocated to Ukraine, and after, that's the reason why we have an office here, one of our 2. HR topic, so it's so we implemented some HR processes inside, explaining people where is Belarus, how do we connect it with the war between Ukraine and Russia, what's political situation, economical, why your teammates, they can't go to visit their relatives in Belarus, because in Zing, from the day one, we were an international company. So we're not like splitting people by passport, religions, and we're speaking all languages. But the topic was that our parts, it's non-Belarusian. We have Americans in the team, Germans, people from France, etc. They really didn't understand the reason why people, when we go to Minsk to visit their relatives, they could switch off of all the laptops, hardware, workforce, workspace, etc. And even right now in 2025, when you hire a new person that's not in the topic, we have like a part of our HR onboarding that explains that, yeah, we have like 20 people from Belarus. If they will go to visit their relatives, and actually 10 from them, they can't go to visit their relatives. And what's the reason for that? So that's some kind of like how to build a modern startup after 2020, I would say, if you have Belarusian roots.
And I would like to add here that together with this relocation thing comes the growth of your costs, which is, I believe for our company was at least 1.5 or maybe closer to 2, which was also painful, let's say.
I see. And regarding the HR topic, how do you think, is it better to position yourself as a Belarusian company or like international one, or like German-based, Cyprus, and so on? Do you spread some rumors or information that the core team is Belarusian, or it's not even true anymore?
What we do for us is that we are very proud of our Belarusian, you say, sorry. I'm used to Belarusian. Belarusians. Oh my gosh. So we are very proud of the fact that we have Belarusian roots, but especially when we talk about our engineering team, which has its great excellence. At the same time, how we position ourselves is that we say we have headquarters in Cyprus, in US, somewhere here, etc. So it helps us to overcome this issue of stability and stuff like that. And I think this is what works for us very well. We don't try to hide it at all. We are proud of that still.
Super.
Yeah, I would add here. So we started to hire internationally maybe, I don't know, 5 years ago in COVID era, maybe even before the COVID era. So, and as we sell to the international markets and we sell, like we have a direct sell. So basically we do a lot of direct, very high touch partnership with the partners. So that's why like it was like from the start of the company, we understood that we wanted to position company as international business. So this is the kind of, it's not about, okay, I'm from Belarus, I want to really put these roots into my company. The question is what going to be the best for the company. So how we can position the company. So that's why we kind of started from the beginning. Nowadays, I guess like half of my people, they're like non-Russian speaking at all, so across the countries. And the rest of the Russian speaking, I think there's the split between like Russians, Ukrainians, like Belarusians. So, and it's funny fact that at Glassdoor, somebody left the comment that if you want to go and work for SplitMetrics, you probably need the Russian vocabulary. Yeah, but it's not true. Yeah, but we never hide that we kind of have these origins. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes people obviously don't like it because sometimes they don't understand. You need to explain. This is not something people really used to work with, and obviously, as a business, you really want to understand that you're hiring you getting really good partner, and this partner you're not going to have problems with this partner. That's why people might be a little bit how to say curious about this topic. Yeah, this is how it looks, at least right now for us.
Okay, I echo what Max has been said. That you should position the company depending on whom you deliver your value. Like if it's global, international, so it's international. Yeah, probably there is some examples in the world that they're Swiss-made or and there is a brand over the centuries. Yeah, I think like Belarusian roots in engineering is pretty young brand. Yeah, so we have to contribute into it not by the naming of it mainly, but mainly by our value, our products, and like the way how we service people and companies across the world.
Yeah, I would add that for most people in the world, like they don't care at all. Like they all hate war, all hate what happens, and what they really searching for is a good products. And if you deliver great value and you like compliant in terms of where you located, your company is located, it's not a problem at all. Like we're all people of world peace and.
Yeah, and I should say that not everybody in the world know what is Belarusi, because when I traveled across Africa from Malawi to Zambia, the lady on the passport control in the airport get my passport, took my passport, and asked what is Belarus. I never heard about the country in my life, and I said I never heard about Malawi before that day. So yeah, maybe it's a thing that we just trying to maybe or highlight or hide that we are Belarusians, but most of the world don't care about that.
It was pretty brave to say on the border that you don't know.
Yeah, by the way, did you get it to the country after that?
I live in the country.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that maybe if you don't use the Belarusian brand outside, this really creates really great culture inside. Because I heard many times from people from different parts of the world that Belarusian people is really the people that care. So this is what we use inside the company, and because probably it's really hard to remember any mention in the press in very bad, how to say, from very bad angle about some Belarusian startups. It's no, the crazy situations, because people always try to, they care about what they do, and this really creates really great culture inside. And apparently, I realized that it's very similar to Ireland. I don't know why. I have a couple of people from Ireland, and we are like so similar in terms of how we see the world and what we value. And I think this is one of the, also because I wanted to add this, one of the really great assets that you can build. You can build really great culture inside, and you can hire people across the world, because people really want to work in really great companies, in really great environment. And this is what we have because of your roots. It's good and bad at the same time, but let's talk about the good part.
Yeah, super. Yeah.
I just wanted to add that I live in Cyprus, and there people usually say "Белорусы котики."
When I was on this conference a year ago, I met my friend, and she's living in Lithuania right now and run a business. And she told me that she's been trying to work with other nationalities, with Lithuanian, Polacks, with other Europeans. But at the end of the day, she prefers to work with Belarusians, because Белорусы котики, they are professionals, and they can bring a lot of efforts to the work. Do you feel like that, guys? Are Белорусы котики or not?
Whatever you put into this term, I don't know, but yeah, maybe in majority, at least what I should say is that Belarusian people are very intelligent and very tactful, and act with respect, and this respect spread across inside and outside, which is very important, building business and building the relationship. So if it's acting with respect, being tactful is a kotiki, probably yes.
Yeah. I would add that it could be, for example, for us, well, like all founders of our company, Belarusians, and we always try to be harder, like harder than we are really, to be harder like that. It's like a professional sport where you need to be hard to your opponents, to your competitors. Sometimes you need to be hard to your clients as well. Reject, I don't know, some requests of them, because like Belarusians sometimes are very soft. I would say that we need to be harder really, and play like international business rules, that okay, if it's pilot, we don't do anything for free, we charge XYZ and whatever. Like it's kind of what we try to fight and kind of train this kind of features in us.
Yeah, I can elaborate on this, because this is also what the bad part of being kotikum. The bad part that I used to have a couple of deals or negotiations with companies from Israel. It was from Argentina, United States, and what I realized, so they really fight. And this is what for us, like people from Belarus, I think it's very important to understand that sometimes we underestimate what power we have and what value we have. So, and that's why sometimes we're not fighting, in the negotiation process, not aggressive enough to protect your interest. And as you kotik, you try to be polite and not to push back or push harder. And I think I can learn this during this negotiation. And I think this is super important for us, because we're too polite, and this is bad, because you can get bad contract, you can get bad terms, and other people from us, I see how other nationalities, they fight really, they push you. This is jungles. So this is the business jungle, and there is predators, and if you're not gonna fight, if you're not gonna resilient, strong, not realizing your potential, they're gonna eat you. And this is what we need to learn, I think, from this kotiki part. So outside be lion, tiger, inside be kotik.
Super. That's good that we can acknowledge that. My question, the next question is, do Belarusians have superpower to compete with global products? Do you have, guys, superpower because you are well-established companies with a global brand?
I believe that superpower is something inside a human being, not in the passport.
But I also could add here that I think resilience is our superpower, because Belarus traditionally had like hundreds of years of history where we survived, not by choice, but because of necessity. So it's part of our DNA to overcome all of the hardship that is coming. And we take this, like we take all of the struggle that we're going to through like something that makes us stronger inside. I would say resilience, yeah.
Хочешь что-то добавить? I would say I don't think this is somehow. I mean, if you talk about the business, I don't think it's attributed only to nationality. Maybe you have always like some setup, good and bad at the same time. But I think the more important this is your personality and your history, because what I can tell you, I don't know if it's related to Belarus or not, because I'm hustling because from the like when I was a child, I not from super wealthy family. This is about the old money as well, about this topic. And you have to hustle pretty early on in your life, like in university. And that's why you kind of hustle. And that's why I learned that I can only run. I know how to run, but I know how to stop sometimes and, just relax and see, okay, this is what I achieved. And I can be, I would say, proud for that and thankful for that. And you kind of run because of the roots that you got. Maybe it's somehow related with the life in Belarus. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah.
They say that every entrepreneur should have some psychological disorders. Otherwise, they will just not do what they do. Just add into what you just said. So maybe in Belarus, we did have, let's say, some background that added something to it. I'm sorry to say that. But anyways.
So we can say that Belarus can hit you hard.
Good, you can leave it.
Yeah, with that probably superpower is too strong word, but just intersection of features that many of Belarusians have. Their, I would say, very good for managing business, for running your business. That from one side you have good education, usually good education within your team. Mathematical, that's very like we are mostly based on hard science, logics, and it's not actually in every culture, right, that you can agree or something like based on facts. And from the other side, we culturally we're Europeans, but with really good understanding of East. It allowed in past maybe for some to work a lot in, for example, Russia, or I know we now have some clients in Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, because we more or less understand much better than, for example, Germans can work with Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan. But it's not a superpower, just coincidence of facts that he was born there.
Yeah, thank you. And I would like to reflect that, Max, you said about running. Once my dad said to me that, son, you are Belarusian, so to be on the same level as other nationalities, other people from Europe, for example, you should run twice faster than they are, just to be on the same status and they have right now. But we are not in Belarus anymore. We have our strength, and I believe that with this speed we started in Belarus, we can succeed here as well. And my final questions to you guys is a piece of advice to Belarusian-rooted companies here to succeed in this world in 2025 and beyond.
I think that the most valuable assets that we get from all this crazy 5 years after the 2020 is that we still have the strong community. And I'm sitting here and I feel that I belong here. So I wasn't living in Belarus just for how many, like 11 years. But every time when I met someone from Belarus, from Kirova 8, from other locations, I feel that this is my person. And entrepreneurs, they still support each other whenever we meet on Cyprus, in Warsaw, in Germany, in States. We're trying to find each other and support. That's some kind of, that makes really us like a very strong community. And for every business that wants to start a new entity or a new startup or a new product, and you have like Belarusian roots, I think that it would be very valuable to keep this. And so really, it's something like, I belong here. I repeat it several times. It's very easy to lose this feeling, but it's very easy to get it back. Thanks for organizing this conference. It's really something.
Yeah, maybe I can follow up my thought that I shared recently. I have two things maybe to mention. First of all, I think we need to realize our potential. This is what I said. And I think Belarus and company founded by Belarusians, this is the really quality. And you really need to understand, because I saw so many, crazy things, that was sold for millions and millions. And in Belarus, we have a lot of quality and a lot of value. And we just need to realize it and market it really, really aggressively, I would say. Let's call it this way. And because I see that people underestimate themselves from Belarus very, very frequently, usually. And the second one, as we are from Belarus, as we have to move across the globe, as we sell to different markets, I think we need to be closer to the, first of all, capital, and second one, to our customers. So if you want to level up your business, probably the next best thing that you can do for your company, maybe for a couple of years, it's enough. Move to the area, I don't know, where your customer is. I don't know, maybe it's United States, maybe it's like Europe, maybe it's something else, maybe London. Just go, and because this is gonna give you such a great experience, first of all, connections, you will learn a lot, and it's gonna really drive your business. Don't sit, be silent, fight for your business.
Yeah, I think that's great addition. Yeah, I think if you build business, definitely you should focus on the business, on the market, on the customers, on the unit economy. This is the first of one. Never find excuses in like some things like origin. You should only proud of your roots, respect other roots and origin, and train, as we said numerous times, like resilience, endurance, and don't forget about just life, and be sometimes kotiki, be sometimes a lion. This is important.
Don't forget about draniki.
A few words. So I would say that my advice would be to be a little bit faster, to speed up, because what I see is that many Belarusians were very smart, were like do a lot of great stuff, but sometimes we're too, like in Belarusian, powolne, I believe in Polish it's not even provocative, but a little bit slow and kind of too smart, to overthink a little bit too much. In modern world, I believe that we can really speed up, and it will be great in general for community, for Belarusian business.
And I would like to finish just saying that I think there is nothing to be shy about of being Belarusian, as you say. And once again, I think we should all turn resilience as into our brand, because we know how to rebuild, we know how to struggle, we know how to fight and overcome different things. So this resilience is, I think, I truly believe in this. This is something that makes us globally competitive. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Applause. Okay, yes, and we have 7 minutes for questions from the audience.
Привітання. Мене зовут Дмитрий. Я з фундації Білоруський центр едукації «Ми можем». І наша фундація займається розвиттям садка, школи, лицея, де мы імкнемся, каб наши белорусские дети развивали свои таленты. І ёсць такая думка, што вось якраз веданне сваіх каранёў, культуры і ўсяго, яно дапамагае якраз раскрываць суперсілы вось сваю асобу, каб дасягаць поспеху ў жыцці. І таксама ёсць іншая думка, што вось можна як мага хутчэй, не можна, а лепей як мага хутчэй там вывучыць мову, забыцца, напрыклад, уліцца ў асяродак, і тады ты будзеш больш паспяховы. Вось як вы лічыце, вы, напрыклад, вы хацелі, каб вашыя дзеці неслі далей гэтыя карані, і ці будуць яны карысныя, сапраўды дапамагаць ім у будучыні быць паспяховымі, адкрываць кампаніі і ўсё астатняе, конечно, засвойваючы такія, хардскілы і ўсё астатняе. Ці ўсё ж такі лепей хутчэй вось так вось уліцца ў асяродак, і тады гэта дапаможа вось дзецям быць больш паспяховымі па-за межамі Беларусі. Дякую.
Дякую.
У меня есть однозначный ответ. Во-первых, так было можно говорить, размовлять по-белорусски? Or we should switch to English, I don't know. Whatever is better.
We're organizers, I don't know, actually.
Let's continue on international
let's speak in
language.
English, because we have guests here, so I think...
Translate the
Should
question.
we translate? So the question was, should we, as a nomad here, let our children to assimilate here with the local community, to learn local language, and to become local people? I mean, like, I don't know, like Cyprus, Polish people, Lithuanians, and so on. Or should we give our children our Belarusian heritage? And what is the best in terms of success?
My answer is definitely yes, we should.
Yes.
We
Yes,
should
what?
give the children this heritage and the knowledge about their roots. I have two daughters. They learn not Belarusian, but Russian, because they live in the English community, and sometimes they try to switch to English at home. And I say, no way, I'm not going to support that. And I think that I read somewhere, maybe like Robert Sapolsky was saying that when a person knows their roots, they, as far as I remember, they tend to live more. They tend to be more happy. So this is not about that we could just replace the roots with something else. Even if they live in the new country, they still have the roots, and you cannot just, it will be the tree built on nothing with no roots at all. So we should, of course, honor the roots that we have. And I do my best for my children to know where they come from, the culture, the traditions, the family, everything. I think this is super important.
I totally support Luba. My eldest son, his name is Alice, and in the passport it's Alice. He was born in 2006, so it was far away before that was become like a trend. And you know that we're relocating a couple of times, and the sad story is that he started to trying to avoid to name his Alice. So he asked kids to name his Alex, Alexander, whatever it means. And as a mom, yeah, it's really something that may be like an issue in this situation, because he didn't recognize himself as a Belarusian. He recognized himself as a Latvian, Lithuanian, but he's trying to be out of all this. I don't know why. Sometimes we have all this. Я розмовляю по-білоруську, так само, як і по-російську, як по-українську. І 10 years in Belarus. And for my second daughter, we're trying to do our best to support her Belarusian roots. But actually, it's not easy because he's partly Belarusian, Ukrainian, Jewish, etc. So I have no answer. We're trying as parents to support our kids. We're trying to raise them with some identity, to develop this, to cultivate this feeling I belong in some countries. But the real situation is that they're moving from country to country. They're a mix of different nationalities. They're holders of different passports. And you can't insist and say, you are Belarusian and your name is Alice, if he wants to be Alex or whatever it means. So it might be easier for him. I still believe that someday he will change his mind, but that's some kind of true story. usually these stories, they're like some kind of like not publicly, but I think that it's something that people that should know that it might be another way.
I would like to add that there is no or in this question. There is always and what we discussed during these panel discussions, that it goes without saying, we have to keep our roots and keep it on whole our life and even transfer it to next generations. At the same time, we have, when we come to any country, new country, this is a matter of respect and kind of a gratefulness to people who, let's say, invited us, who welcomed us. So we have to learn their language, learn their traditions, and it actually brighten our personality and trains our brain, which also helps in business, definitely.
So a funny story. My son was born in Germany. He's 8. One time, like 2 years ago, I picked him up from kindergarten or school, and he asked, "Papa, why you are not celebrating today?" I asked, "What?" He said, "Kurban Bayram," because they were like in kindergarten. There's a lot of Turkish in western part of Germany because of Gastarbeiter program from 80s. Like really, they're celebrating. So. Children very quickly in assimilating, right? And we need to, like, the biggest question is to really that he doesn't lose mother language. Like we speak Russian in our family, but I have some tricks, for example, that all YouTube is in Belarusian, and from time to time we listen to Belarusian music, like and he knows some, for example, Belarusian sportsmen of past that he's like proud of and can relate him to at least somehow to Belarus. So.
Thank you. Any other questions? Oh, you're too far from me. Okay.
Hey guys, name's Max. I don't have a question per se. It's just that listening to you being here, I realize it's been a while since I felt this cozy, this proud, and this not alone, being a Belarusian founder now living in Poland for the 3 years. So I just wanted to say thank you for this. It has been amazing.
So I should speed up, right?
Thank you. Vera, I'm here privately, so I would like to say, to ask you. For me, it's what I've heard. I'm also very glad that you are happy to be here and feel this Belarusianness and so on and so on. But for me, it's a little bit not so proactive position. And my question is, do you feel this responsibility to in establishing Made in Belarus as a brand, as a company, international company with all your capacity and so on and so on? And do you think in this direction to make some events or some actions more in the direction of promotion Belarus as a land on the international level? Thank you.
I don't know if this is something that we must do, but as I said, I feel from my heart, I'm proud of being Belarusian. And that is why wherever I go, I mention proudly that I'm from Belarus. Our company, our team initially is from Belarus. And I think it adds something to the brand, to the company, to the values. At the same time, it's up to everybody's choice if they should do the same or they feel something different, depending on the business, depending on the situation, depending on the partners they want to find, depending on the goal of this specific communication. I would say this way.
Yeah, but should we promote brand as Belarus or Belarusians, because we are not in Belarus anymore?
But we're remote first companies, remote friendly companies. Our brand is global.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I think we need to split the business part and the personal part, because again, as a business, you have to solve the business problems. If it makes sense for you to support and promote it, so it makes sense, so you can do it. But if you operate in, like, I don't know, 10 countries internationally, half of your team, they are not from Belarus. I mean, yes, obviously you kind of promote the history of the company, and obviously you explain how it started, why it started, and how the history impacted the future. But then there is another part. This is your personal part. So how you can support, because there are many other things that you can do. You can organize events. You can help people, other stuff. And I think this is a little bit different. And obviously, I think this is something. To be honest, it's a really good question, I would say, because I never kind of really deeply thought about it. And I think it's maybe something that I need to think a little bit more. Because what also we can do, we can give back also, because also we build something, and I think we can help the community. And this is what we do right now here. And will be super happy to support people who started the business, because I invest into the businesses. And most of the people here probably also invest in the businesses. We advise businesses. So obviously we want to grow this community as well. And I think this is also, this is my responsibility here, mostly.
Thank you, Max. From my perspective, my personal opinion is that business can but should not invest its time or money on other resources on promoting any like activities like Belarusian, Belarus brand, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I would clarify. It's not like I don't want.
Yeah. I
For
agree
example,
with you.
I have Ukrainians, and I'm going to do something. They're going to ask me, so why you do this for Belarusian? Yes, we know this is your roots, so go do it like individually. Because like I have like my management team, and like I have 2 people from Belarus only in this team, and then like a couple of Ukrainians, Russians from around the world, and it's.
Yeah,
I mean, it's professional environment, and you have to operate in this environment.
Yeah, I agree with you. And my point is that we have a lot of NGOs and other organizations who can do that, who can promote Belarusian brand and so on. But business should do business and solve business problems, right? But if you want, you can volunteer and do that. So, guys, we have only 1-2 minutes for a question. So, last question. Oh.
Actually, I have 2 questions. Maybe you can answer one of them or both. Do you feel like there are really 2 kind of brands of Belarus? Belarusians abroad and Belarusians who stayed. And like these are completely different brands. And maybe you can give an example how recently the fact that you have Belarusian roots helped you to win the deal, to get the partner, to get, I don't know, great senior developer in your team. Any kind of example of Belarusian roots helping you? Thank you.
It's a very easy question. If you're from Belarus and you see like the CV of a person who, for example, graduated from Belarusian State University when I was, it's much easier to speak on the same language because you have the same background. From the business perspective, I don't remember any cases when I can win. Usually I win because of the skill, because of the better product, because of the better team, because of something, not just because of passport. But if you meet someone in the HR space who are from the same background, it's much easier to communicate and to hire these people. That's from my experience.
Yeah, first of all, I think it's not really correct, the question. So say that there's different Belarusian people who stayed, who moved. It's I think, slightly different. In our company, we split people by the values. So there's people who share our values, and this is the people we want to work with, and some people that don't share our values. And it's fine, they can do whatever they want. And I think I wouldn't like form the question this way, I would say. In terms of any benefits to hire like people from Belarus, again, at the international level, I can say this now. It's really has like huge impact, I would say.
Okay, and maybe one last question. Somebody?
So I guess that's all. Thank you, dear guests. Thank you, audience. It is a pleasure. And see you.